All right, everybody. We are outside of the WiSpa. Some breaking news. There is right down at the end of the street is where the protest is. This is the WiSpa. Now, there's a reason that I'm not there. Basically, the organizers of the protest asked me not to live stream. I am honoring that wish to not live stream. And so that's why I'm in my car live streaming to you right now. I just spoke to some breaking news. I spoke to the ownership of WiSpa. They told me that the only statement, he would not give his name. This is just now, actually you could see right outside, he's sitting out there talking to police right now. That's one of the owners of WiSpa, Korean businessman. And I'm in my car right here outside of WiSpa. The fellow there in the jeans talking to police is an owner. Now, I confirmed with him that the only thing that this person wanted to say, that WiSpa is saying, the only thing that they're saying is that they are honoring the laws of the state of California and that they will comply with any police investigation. Now, down at the end of the street is where a concert was supposed to be. That concert has not happened as of now. I will be posting, if you go on my Twitter, @JLeeQuinn, I will be posting video from this event. They hung a trans rights flag from the Wilshire stop sign down there at the end. The reason that I can't show you video, or be live, is because the organizers asked me not to live stream. I took video, I honored that request, and I took video that was not live stream, but that was from my second camera, HD video, which is better quality anyway. So go to my Twitter. That will be posted on Twitter @JLeeQuinn. If you don't follow me already. Now, the other news that we broke for Los Angeles Magazine, who I am reporting for and as a freelancer, is that 5 police reports have been filed. We just broke this story this week. If you go to Los Angeles Magazine, you will see, if you go to their website, this is part of what I've investigated with LAPD as far as finding out how many police reports were filed. 5 individual women have filed police reports as to the date of June the 23rd, the evening of the June 23rd going into the 24th. 5 police reports by 5 separate individual women were filed. There was a lot of talk about this being a hoax, stuff like this, but I have confirmed that 5 police reports do exist. I believe Angel's account to be credible. A lot of the questioning has come with that she's become an activist. Now, a statement from the lawyer was that Angel was not an activist prior. She's very Christian evangelical, but not actively political. On her Instagram, she even posts support for justice for Ahmaud Arbery. She posts about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. She does not fit the profile of a conservative activist, but she is becoming a part of an activist cause now, which is to change the law of the state of California, which is that you cannot discriminate in regards to gender identification. Now, the thing about WiSpa, for those of you who don't know, it is a fully nude bathing spa. I visited twice this week as part of my reporting, and I spoke to people who were not front of house. They were not the front desk. I spoke to other people that work at WiSpa. There's a 3rd floor, there's custodial staff, there's a 3rd floor restaurant. There's a lot of people that you could speak to at WiSpa that are not the front desk. The front desk and management are incredibly tight-lipped. They're doing what you should do, which is not talk to the press if your boss tells you that it could create liability concerns and that you don't have the authorization to speak for the, but again, that man over there next to police in the jeans, he's just walked behind the tree there. I spoke to him. He said they're complying with any police investigation and with the state of California. Now, as for these 5 police reports, this is what we know about the 5 police reports. They are indecent exposure complaints of 5 different individuals. The first one was filed by Angel on July the 6th. July the 7th is when the stories start coming out alleging a hoax. LAPD says it's impossible, they can't control misinformation, but the evening of July the 6th was when the first police report was filed, and already a report comes out on July 7th, which claims it's a hoax. That is not enough turnaround for a proper investigation. Police denies that is information that came from public information office. It's also suspicious because the original article was in a publication called The Blade. I've even talked to the head editor of The Blade, and he explained to me that it's an anonymous person who wrote this out of concern for their safety. The Advocate reports, Advocate is an LGBT magazine, they report that this person who wrote the article for The Blade is an activist. So it's an anonymous activist account using anonymous sources. I do not find that to be reliable. That's why I was never persuaded by The Blade's story, because the police report was only filed the night before, number one. Number two, they are inaccurate how they described WiSpa's check-in process. I visited WiSpa twice in the last week and a half, once as a cash-paying customer. I did not have to show ID. There was no appointment necessary. I didn't have to present ID. I could pay with cash. You do have to sign a waiver, and that waiver says that you will behave yourself properly, no lewd activity. Now, this is an all-nude spa that allows minors. Minors, and this is something culturally, Japanese onsen and Korean spa are very similar in that they allow people to show up or to bathe publicly, and minors are allowed if they are accompanied by an adult. So you will see minors. There's nothing devious about it. I will say it's pretty much a safe environment. Can you get people who are leerers? I saw one dude who was a little off that was leering at me one time when I was at WiSpa. It's according to people's, I guess, comfort level. If someone's leering you, you walk away, you go away. But this is a public, bathing spa, and it's important people to know that. So the 5 women that filed complaints, they complained specifically of a naked individual presenting male anatomy that was exiting and entering the jacuzzi tub. In the video, a person complains that a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old are also at the spa. I tried to get confirmation. Is that a hypothetical? That's not mentioned in the police report as far as I know. I only got summaries of the police report from LAPD. I tried to ask the lawyer, is that a hypothetical or is that an actual thing? And I have gotten no, the lawyer is also being a little tight-lipped. He will not speak on behalf of anybody else. Now, here's the breaking news. Angel has responded to my request for an interview. That means that it is possible that I will be able to speak one-on-one with Angel and talk to her about why she has become an activist. The lawyer says she had no prior history as an activist. What happened on the night of June the 23rd, why she decided to make a scene. And I don't think that's an unfair characterization to say that she made a scene. She said, quite frankly, there's going to be a situation, we're going to have a situation, and she is making a big deal out of it. So there is a lot to find out here still, because a lot of speculation and a lot of fighting has been going on without us really knowing all the facts. My piece for Los Angeles Magazine is supposed to come out next week, in which I break down in a timeline, and then there's a second piece that's being written as well in more of a narrative format. I have decided that my reporting should just be what happens when, that I should not interject opinions. And the reason is I lose my credibility. If I, for example, most of you know, I consider myself an advocate for peace. I believe violence breeds more violence. I speak out again. I'm very outspoken. However, I should not have been called out this week for imposing. Now, I did not comment on the violence on El Cajon as to who started it. I commented on pressure being put on the ACLU to bend one way or another. I want to clarify that. Now, that said, expressing the opinion that activist groups like the ACLU, the Anti-Defamation League, and the Southern Poverty Law Center need to be more fair in how they parse information, that is an opinion of mine. I have stated that time and time again. Should I keep stating it? I'm willing to accept criticism that maybe that, blunts my credibility if that's my agenda. I don't want to have an agenda. I want to credibly report on what I see and what is happening. And again, for those of you who are just joining, there is a protest, a peaceful protest down the street. The reason I'm not there is they asked me not to live stream, and I am complying. So the video that I took at the peaceful protest will be posted later tonight on my Twitter at @JLeeQuinn. Something else to consider before I take questions about the whole WiSpa episode. Today's protest was organized by the left. What's significant is the last two protests were organized by the right, with the left preempting it at WiSpa and shutting it down before it could happen in the name of quote-unquote smashing transphobia. Today was a left-organized event, and I'll walk maybe a little closer, but I can't live stream from the event. They want to protect people's faces, and you know what? I'm compliant. The thing about today's event is it was organized by the left. The right wing is not showing up. They are not counter-protesting, and this is consistent with what we see. The right very rarely counter-protest left-wing action. If leftists want to come out here and speak out against transphobia, the right really isn't going to come out and do something. When we see all this militancy, it is important to note that the last two WiSpa events are consistent with what I have seen in the majority of situations. The right wing wants to hold an event. The left wing disagrees. They shut it down. They shut it down before it can happen. That's what we saw at the last two WiSpa events. I would invite any leftist to dispute with me that is what has happened. Today's event is different. It was organized by the left. So far, the right is not only a no-show, but the left is a no-show in the sense that this was supposed to be a concert by Precious Child, who was written up in The Guardian, who has claimed that there has been organized harassment. I have seen some posts that were directed towards Precious Child. This is somebody who said that they were going to hold a concert today. That concert has not materialized. At one point, there was talk of, does anybody have a generator? So this doesn't seem to be well organized in that sense that it was going to being a concert. Do I think that it was perhaps something to draw the right wing out? Maybe. I don't know. There are people who have been here the last two protests who are here. I promised not to live stream because I was checked, and the reason I complied is because I'm out on my own right now. But what I'm going to do is try to get a couple of clips from there. As I said, it is a genuinely peaceful protest, but it looks like some people are taking to the streets right now. Let's actually peek. I don't think it counts. I agreed not to live stream on that corner, but I did not, if anybody takes to the street, I am allowed to live stream, I would say. Well, I'm always allowed to, let's be honest, but I did give my word that I wouldn't. This is the outside of the WiSpa. They said they're going to open again today at 1 o'clock. I'll take a couple of questions maybe, if there are any. This is the parking structure. This is where on July 3rd, Hyro was, people call him Gyro because his name starts with a J, but it's Hyro. It starts with, he got jumped here. Now, he brandished pepper spray also. This is the other corner of the WiSpa, which the police, as of 2 weeks ago and this time, have locked down. And then this is the entrance to the WiSpa over here, where you drive in and you pay $3 for valet parking. I've been to the spa many times. And as I said, if you're just joining us, I spoke to the owner. The owner says that they didn't want to give their name, but part of the ownership says that they're going to comply with any laws of the state of California, and they're going to comply with any, what else did they say? Any police investigation. So that is that. Let's see, any questions? Why don't they want a live stream? I don't think there is, but I decided to comply, as I said. It may be that they don't want unwanted attention from, the right wing. I don't know, but I respected that request. But yeah, why don't they want a live stream? Someone says, keep protecting the bigots. You're as bad as them, always defending them.
at all costs. You always say, I hope that person's not talking to me. You don't have proof, but you always have. Is that a comment to me? If it is, I don't know. Would call the cops at a nudist beach. Just bigots expecting. Oh, okay, I see this person's comment. This person says some bigots would call the cops at a nudist beach. Just to, just bigots expecting to have things their way. Okay, I mean that's your opinion. I don't agree that this is what it's. I think that public bathing is not a question of bigotry. I think that having a conversation about that does not necessitate bigotry, and I would dispute that point. But I respect your right to have that opinion. Again, this is the outside of outside of the WiSpa here. As I said, I have 5 police reports according to LAPD have been filed in regards to June the 23rd. That's the new news that came out this week, and. Again, someone says, well, it's bigoted. I don't have any opinion about it, really. I'm just telling you the thing that is happening. And I'm also respecting, people's wishes. It's a tricky road that I travel. But I understand your point. The rioters have no right to tell you not to live stream. They do. They asked. And I said yes. Other times I would say no, but the reason why I said yes is that I can post what I recorded tonight, and I don't think anything's actually going to happen here. There's nothing to hide. Do you know why? Because they organized this protest. Because they organized it, that means that the right probably will not come. The right organized the last 2. The reason that they were violent, in my opinion, is because the right organized them. And they preempted. So you're right. If I wanted to push it, I could insist. But you know what? You live to fight another day. And having some sort of access, do you jeopardize this for a day where nothing is going to happen? No. So it's being a journalist. Sometimes you play your cards. And if you're asked, and the request seems reasonable. I thought it was that I would shoot on my other phone and not live stream. Then I decided, why not? I'm going to comply today. Doesn't mean that the next time something's happening that I necessarily will. But in my opinion, the live stream doesn't hold the value that it did the other 2 times. The live stream shows an uninterrupted record in conflict. There is no actual conflict today. And so that's why I complied, and I said, absolutely, because there's no conflict. And again, I comply because that's my choice. And so I said that I would not live stream, and that's why I'm live streaming over here on the other side. So basically that's it. I don't think there's any other issues. Are the racists of yellow? We realize there's nothing more bigoted than suppressing free speech. I believe that. I really do. And if we want to talk about these conflicts, we can talk about them in regards to civil rights violations. That's a new sort of conversation that I am interested in having, which is it a violation of civil rights if I had insisted on live streaming and they had pushed me out, I would have forced a conflict. Now, again, I was not interested in doing that because it's not, it's just not what I feel like doing today, quite honestly. I'm in my flip-flop attire. I'm chill. I'm not looking to force any conflict. So when they ask that, but you're right. The suppression of free speech is a civil rights violation. That also goes to, if you go to my Twitter, I've been posting in regards to suppressing journalists, but also attacks on people. It doesn't matter if the mob is from the right or the left. If there is an attack on an individual, that is a suppression of that person's that person's rights, that person's First Amendment rights, whether they're a journalist or whether they are a protester, stealing somebody's signs. and using violence. That is a violation of First Amendment rights. So I'm going to just get a couple pictures of the police. Do a 360. Let me see if I can interview one with someone here. Are you willing to do an interview at all? No? Okay. So that's all I can give you guys. I asked if they're willing to do an interview. This is the police on the southwest corner of WiSpa. And as you can see, they're on the northeast over there, the protest, which didn't have the rock band. I was expecting Precious Child. It's 12:30. I will check one more time at 1 o'clock to see if the rock band came and if we can get an interview with Precious Child. But as of right now, that has been a no-show. So again, the owner for WiSpa is here. They're going to open up at 1 o'clock. WiSpa is. So we'll see what happens. I'm not legally parked, so I'm going to just check my but again, I expect no conflict today whatsoever, because this is different in character than the last two protests. This was billed as a concert organized by leftists. The first two events were right-wing protests that were shut down. So it's two different things. What other questions we got? It's too late for you and CJ. You have shown. It's too late for you and CJ. You have shown.
But what side you'll always go to. I don't understand what that means. You are welcome to elaborate. I don't think it's too late for anybody. Somebody says, complying to who? Complying to the request. I decided to honor the request to not live stream, and I will be posting video on my website, on my Twitter. So you could follow my Twitter at jleequinn. I understand that I wouldn't comply, not at all. I wouldn't comply when you comply with BLM. Okay, I mean, that's a reasonable criticism. Today, again, I do not anticipate any conflict, so therefore I did not think it was necessary for me to live stream that. Can you put the video on YouTube later, please? Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe I can cut a super cut because of what the protests look like. But again, it's a peaceful protest. People are chalking, they're waving flags. They put a flag up on the Wilshire and Rampart stoplight. Why are you complying as an independent journalist? Because I feel like it. I don't feel like creating conflict today. I'm just not in the mood. Nobody's paying me to be here, and I just don't feel like getting into it, quite frankly. And I'm just honoring. Let's change the language. Rather than comply, let's say I'm honoring the request. I'm honoring the request to not live stream on the northeast corner of the protest. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing that seems to be happening. I do not feel like making myself the center of attention. There are no other live streamers. Somebody mentioned CJ. If CJ was here, if there were other live streamers, then maybe I would feel more emboldened to push for it. But I, quite frankly, am just not interested in having this fight today. And that's why. I'm doing it by choice. I'm a freedom of choice person, and I am choosing to honor their request not to live stream there. So that's why. That's contribute to the problem. Well, you could say, damn you dumbly. All right. Did they shut down WiSpa again? Yes. It has been shut down all morning. It will open again at 1 p.m. today. I spoke with the owner, and that's what they told me. That's what they told me. Right wing doesn't care about harming transgender. Yeah. That we don't care only about children. So don't let your fanatics dictate. Don't let fanatics dictate the rules to you. Sure, I agree with that. And again, you pick your battles. And while I'm sure you guys would like to see me just defy them and go right into it, I do not feel like doing that. But you know what? Somebody else might. So, let me see. I'm just looking to see if there's any commotion at all. There isn't any commotion. And, you know, this is the corner where part of the street where the Hispanic couple that came, they were wearing COVID masks. This is where I was going to talk to them. Now, something you should know about the right-wing response. There was a guy in shoulder pads who was thought to have maced with not just bear spray, but some unknown additive, perhaps, to it. He maced Villain, who is a conservative-leaning centrist. He maced a young girl named Marie, who is a left-leaning young reporter who covered both sides. When the Hispanic couple was being attacked here, they said they supported trans rights, but they wanted boundaries. When that couple was being attacked, the young girl Marie was right next to me asking questions to the couple who had just been attacked. That tells me she's a real journalist. She may be left-leaning, just like The Guardian, just like everybody else who's been covering this, but pretty much. But she's a real journalist and she doesn't deserve to be maced. I just spoke with her. She told me that when she got to MacArthur Park, she said she naively approached. She didn't even have a chance to ask any questions. She was sprayed by that bear spray plus unknown agent, whatever it was. She said it was the most painful thing she'd ever felt in her life, which is exactly what Villain said. It was the most painful thing that he had ever felt in his life. So after she was sprayed and had her phone stolen, another colleague, somebody else, had the same happen to them. So whoever this guy was in the white shoulder pads who was spraying people was doing it indiscriminately, and somewhat, if I may add an editorial opinion, psychotically, spraying random people that were believed to be Antifa or leftist aligned journalists. So while those of you may say, be coming down on me for one reason or another, at the end of the day, it's the violence that needs to be exposed. Both those people had their phones stolen, so it was theft and suppression, in my opinion, of First Amendment right to free speech. And I am someone who believes in fighting for that. But again, you pick your battles. Today is not the day that I'm going to be the only commotion at this protest. I am not going to be the only commotion. If something else happens, I'll take the live stream in. Absolutely. Just making sure I remember to take a closer look at WiSpa. This is the parking lot.
It's interesting. The police are filming. How you doing? Really, I'm going to ask Marie if she'll do an interview. If I could ask Marie if she'll do an interview, we'll see where that goes. I don't know. Just ask Marie if she'll do an interview. I just spoke to her earlier and someone asked her, did Precious Child ever come? Or?
Are you here to support trans lives?
I'm here as a reporter for Los Angeles Magazine.
Right.
So,
are you here to support trans lives?
I'm not
because
here.
If you're reporting a trans person, I'm asking a very important question.
I support everybody who I talk to. I'm not here on an ideological scale.
Okay, so if you could just step aside, I'll let them know that you're here, and then they'll find you.
Okay. Well, I would just gonna ask Marie something.
You were nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a real reporter. Like, I'm not here to do anything.
You read the last two articles on WiSpa, they suck.
We're very nice.
Yeah. But you're not interested.
They pretend to be nice, and if they're reporters, they spin it the way they want. That's the reason I asked you if you could step over there.
Okay.
I will find that person and get their permission.
I will.
Step over there.
Step back, bro. What are you doing?
So is that it? No, I'm just asking Marie if she'll do an interview. Are you interested?
Hey, bro, no one wants to do an interview, bro. Step the fuck back.
So she's interested to do an interview for Los Angeles Magazine.
So you're interested in doing an interview with the enemy. I just want you to be
Not
very
the
careful.
enemy.
Be quiet.
I mean, like, a fucking dude that doesn't step back with my woman's head and step back with my head, dude. That's like a dude that doesn't
Nothing he's gonna do will protect us. It will only continue to put us in danger. I won't ever peace police you. I just want to keep you safe because they will put your face, they will put your name. They won't protect your identity.
Well, if you don't want your name, I won't.
That's what they always say.
We all back up, but don't talk this way.
I'm sorry.
I was here earlier. It was not a problem earlier. Oh, you remember? Yeah. I spoke to you for Los Angeles Magazine. So I just came over to talk to Marie. She said yes, but now you guys, all these people are telling her not to talk to me.
Why were all your WiSpa articles such trash?
What's that?
Why were all your WiSpa articles such trash?
I haven't done.
Yes, we're not dumb. We educate ourselves. We know who you are, and we're finding.